So this is from the 1st of November. This is how the vehicle looked. There was no back on it. This is just the sheet I tried on it just to see how it would look. So that's what, 8 weeks ago? Yeah, and since then I've been in Dubai for a couple of weeks. Amir's been off twice or three times. So we've not done too badly on it. So this is how it looks without any magnets holding it, holding itself up now. So I'm going to use these self tappers. I'll put a few more in the centre there, spaced out, and the same across the bottom. There's a couple of little issues that I've come up with. I'll show you exactly what I mean. I've got to I'll show you. So when I pull the side down, there's a couple of bits. It's just catching. You can hear it. You see there? It's just catching. So I'll have to clean that edge off there. It's there and somewhere else. The other thing I didn't think about, didn't think about it, was obviously these sides are made to come off. And I've cut these down so that they go over the hinge, but what I didn't take into account is I now need to pull this that way to get the hinge off, to get the sides off. That was the whole point of the exercise. So what I'm going to do, otherwise it's going to bend that piece there, so I'll have to take it to at least half of that more out so it can slide off and come off, but it's a small thing, it's not a big deal. So we'll see how that goes. So this is how the wing has been looking for some time, probably since you've been the start of the project. When we sandblasted it, we cut them out. These are obviously the wheel holders when it was a sedan or a saloon car, and the boxes were completely destroyed. They were like tea bags, and I don't particularly want them in there. They're just something for water to get in. Don't particularly like the look of them either, and they're quite bad. So I'm going to go through the whole process of me rebuilding these. Now obviously they've only been cut off roughly inside, so what I'm going to do now is I've got a piece of sheet steel which will work for this. I'm going to cut the corners off. I'm going to round them the same way. It's better to put a round in than a corner piece because it tends to get tight in the corner. If you can round the shape, you'll get a better fit of the metal than you will if you put corner to corner. Or even a slight angle is better than 45 degree, or a 45 if you like, because it will all pucker up in that corner. So I'll show you what I've got and what I'm up to, and I'll film it as I go through it. So I'll only do the one side, of course. The other side I'll make the piece, but I won't film it. It's going to be exactly the same process. Now the sheet I happen to have is not big enough to go over this hole here, which this hole and this one on the side originally was obviously the wheel brace holder. When the wheel sat in there, it was obviously up here somewhere, and this would have come out and been some kind of clamp over it, and this was a piece that went onto it, which I don't have, so that's another reason to get rid of it. So I'll take you through the process. Okay, so this is the sheet I'm going to use. I'm just going to cut the corners off, just nibble them off. This is a tin snip nibbler, so it's very easy. You just need to keep on a certain part of the line. So I'll cut the main piece off with this, and then I'll just grind it a little bit. So what I'll do now is I'll put it back onto the wing. I'll make this impression up, and then I'll put it through the English wheel again, which I'll show you. It just needs a slight curve at the top part, and it's flat down at the bottom end. But I'll show you the whole process. Okay, so I'll put this on roughly where it needs to be. I'll clap place. Keep it down there. That's good enough for what I need now. What I'll do is just mark round it, and I know where to cut out, and I'll cut on the inside of this line because it needs to be bent. Okay, so let's cut this out. So we've got the panel and it's only tacked in. Got a few welds in there where it's looking a bit better, but it's nice and flush, and there's plenty of room around it everywhere. It's a little bit, little bit bigger there, but you need a bit of room to expand it, but it's flush everywhere. If anything, when you're doing a panel like this, especially on a wing, it's better to have it even, if anything, have it slightly down, because at least you've got something to fill onto. If it's too high, then you're trying to take metal off, which is not good. You're going to thin it out. So you can either get it slightly underneath or absolutely spot on. That's the way to go. And we can even lead load this. We don't even need to put filler on it. We can lead load the whole thing. So that's how it looks. Got to get it shaped up a little bit better. And the way I did this was instead of getting the cutting of the hole perfectly straight, what I did was I got it to a really good, reasonable standard, and then started at the top and worked my way down and let the panel in as I went, and taking enough room so I could catch the sides with a grinder or the air grinder, just to get it so that the position is right, because it's quite a big panel to make. I'm pretty happy with it. I think that's going to work out nice. And obviously, when I get the new gas, I'll weld it in from underneath as well, completely. There we are. That's one in. Not completely. It's just tacked, but it's in position. That's the main thing. I made this one up today and got it fitted in, so that's both sides tack welded in, or measured up, tack welded in. It's a matter of going around when I get the gas on the 9th. The day before Amir comes back. I think Amir comes back on the night of the 10th. So I'll get those all welded up before he comes back. I'm going to start doing some work on the back here. This is how I'm going to do the tailboard. So that's the license plate holder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a box for that to fit into, so it's recessed into that panel. Because it has to sit flush across the back here. It's going to sit flush here, across here, and obviously the tailgate will smash into it, so I'm going to have to recess these lights in and number plate. So on that note, stay safe, keep your faith, enjoy your hobby, and hopefully you'll come and check in for the next one. Take care, bye for now.